and says there's always room for growth and improvement in officiating. The commissioner said, I do find it interesting when you sit in the chair I sit in that no winning team ever complains about officiating, no losing team ever complains about officiating. So Cathy Engelbert, this is one of the worst takes I've ever heard. This is one of the worst takes I've ever heard from a commissioner of a league. Like, it is embarrassing. Like, it's an absolutely embarrassing take.
The WNBA is facing an unprecedented crisis as Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's tone-deaf response to Caitlin Clark's growing injury concerns sparks a firestorm of backlash from fans, players, and analysts across the basketball world.
Now, a lot of people is criticizing the WNBA referees yet again after another matchup because they felt as if Paige Beckers actually had a special whistle. Now, I spoke about this last night, man, and people was definitely showing mixed reviews about it. But with all that being said, dog, we look like WNBA Commissioner Cathy has opened up about this situation a little bit and spoke
in what many see as one of the worst leadership failures in pro sports history. Engelbert came out swinging, not at the referees who've repeatedly failed to protect her league's biggest star, but at the critics bold enough to question the integrity of her officiating crew.
Realistically, Cathy Engelbert, what she should be doing is trying to promote the league, trying to make sure everything works, and just being this dismissive of what is one of the biggest problems in your entire league and the refereeing issue is awful. It is absolutely awful.
When confronted with growing evidence of biased officiating fueling Clark's injury troubles, Engelbert doubled down with a response so out of touch it would be laughable if it weren't so damaging to the league's credibility. In a recent media session, the commissioner even had the audacity to defend the very referees who've let Clark be battered night after night.
On national TV, 40 out of the 44 regular season games, she don't get no foul calls at all. Her team gets no foul calls. So maybe this will be the wake-up call. When y'all see what these numbers look like without her, maybe this will open up your eyes to finally see and say, hey, you need to protect her. We can't have her get hurt. Maybe this will wake you up. Maybe this is what needed to happen. Obviously, we don't want Cathy, but maybe this is the slap in the face, the trench of cold water on the face that the WNBA.
There's always room for growth and improvement in officiating, Engelbert said, serving up the kind of hollow corporate speak that makes fans' blood boil. But here's where it gets absurd. Instead of addressing the clear targeting of her league's biggest star, she brushed off real concerns by claiming that no winning team ever complains about officiating, and no losing team ever does.
Coaches obviously think so, but Engelbert isn't so alarmed. Basketball in general is considered difficult to officiate, which is true, and says there's always room for growth and improvement in officiating. The commissioner said, I do find it interesting when you sit in the chair I sit in that no winning team ever complains about officiating, no losing team ever complains about officiating. Do you want to know what coach complains about officiating more than anyone else? The Minnesota Lynx. The Minnesota Lynx. Do you want to know what game started the biggest what two games started the biggest refereeing talks in the WNBA over the last 2 years? The Indiana Fever versus the Chicago Sky when Kennedy Carter hip checked Caitlin Clark. Who won that game?
The woman charged with safeguarding the integrity of women's pro basketball just told the world that concerns over player safety and fair officiating are merely sour grapes from losing teams. This isn't leadership. It's willful blindness wrapped in executive arrogance.
She stated, get Cathy out of here. The job is too big for her now. This isn't normal ref complaints. Win or loss, there is genuine incompetence with WNBA referees. The team, players, fans have been complaining about Cathy not effing embarrassed watching this display.
If you're enjoying this, please subscribe, while Engelbert plays semantic games and brushes off real concerns. Meanwhile, the stats are so damning they should have triggered disciplinary action months ago. Caitlin Clark has been on the receiving end of 17% of all flagrant fouls in the WNBA this season. One player, out of hundreds, absorbing nearly a fifth of the league's most serious fouls. And it gets even more absurd. 80% of those flagrant fouls against Clark have come from a single team, the Chicago Sky. The odds of that happening by pure chance. You'd have a better shot at winning the lottery while getting struck by lightning during a solar eclipse. Yet Engelbert sits in her commissioner's chair, acting like this is all just normal basketball.
Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner. I'm starting to think you and Cathy Engelbert has something going on for as she's a puppet for you. Why are you not protecting or coming out and saying something to protect Caitlin Clark, aka CC, the face of the WNBA? It's really disturbing because at the end of the day, I thought you're supposed to look out for your people by any means. It's not even making sense. I understand.
The most damning statistic of all, and the clearest proof of Engelbert's failure as a leader, is this. Caitlin Clark played 4 full years at Iowa without missing a single regular season or playoff game due to injury. Then she enters the WNBA, where refs let her get pushed, shoved, and targeted, and she's already suffered 2 separate injuries in under 20 games. The contrast couldn't be more glaring. At Iowa, Clark was virtually indestructible, playing through bumps and bruises to stay on the court for 139 straight games. Her only notable college injury was a minor ankle tweak against Kansas State in 2022, and even then, she dropped 33 points.
Maybe this will be the wake-up call that the WNBA needs to clean up the officiating, to actually show that they appreciate this golden goose that has landed in their lap that goes by the name of Caitlin Clark. It's been so long where we've just seen this girl getting beat up in games. We see her get grabbed, hacked, bumped into, knocked on the floor. There's never any whistles from her. In my opinion, the WNBA has shown a true lack of appreciation for Caitlin. I don't feel like they've done enough to protect their best asset, their most important asset. I feel like they have dropped the ball on that 1,000.
The moment Clark stepped into Engelbert's WNBA, everything changed. First came the left quad strain in May that sidelined her for at least 2 weeks. It happened after yet another game where refs allowed excessive contact, this time against the New York Liberty, where she played nearly 38 minutes while enduring what many called deliberate targeting. Now, just weeks after returning, Clark is dealing with a left groin strain that's forced her to miss more games. That injury followed yet another poorly officiated matchup where refs again failed to protect the league's biggest draw from unnecessary contact. As if her defense of shoddy officiating weren't bad enough, Engelbert's pattern of tone-deaf responses is wearing thin with fans and players alike. When pressed on the darker side of social media and the racist harassment aimed at WNBA players, Engelbert's comments were so inadequate they sparked immediate backlash across the league.
Hey, CC, she a different breed, bruh. And y'all, just me seeing all of these fouls, and y'all don't treat Paige like that? Why y'all don't treat her like that? You hear me? Paige don't be embarrassing her opponents like CC do, huh? I ain't gonna lie. Caitlin Clark, she a different breed. And then Cathy Engelbert, she has no remorse, no sympathy or nothing. I know she's a puppet. At the end of the day, Stephanie White, all of them, bro, because it's not making sense, bro. Why?
But I'm going to keep saying it. Something is going on. I don't know what it is, man, but that's uncalled for. And we can see it. I don't know if we need to look into the committee, you know, with the higher up players, the veteran players. I don't know where we need to look at, but we need to look somewhere because this